Hi. So I'm just going to make a quick video of some of the rocks that we've tumbled and the progress we've made so far. So last video I showed you some rocks that I had gotten done with the first and second step, because I'm doing a new thing where I'm letting it run for a whole month on the 1690 grit as it wears away to save me some money. And yeah, so then I can just cut out the second step. So this is where we're at now. These are the rocks that I had in my other video that I tumbled like on the pre-polish, so they're ready for the final step. And so I'm just going to do a quick overview when I'm done completely with these, which should be another 10 days. This batch here will be done, and I can make a more detailed video of each one of the rocks. They're looking really beautiful. There's a lot of really gorgeous ones, and I'm excited to see them. And then I also, in my last video, remember I threw in all that petrified wood. Look at this. This is just from the first and second step, which I'm combining as one. They've been tumbling for just under a month. But look the difference that this petrified wood has made. Of course, I have a few pieces of that banded iron, which I don't have that much of it, but it's gorgeous. And there's a little bit more banded iron. And of course, we still have the pre-polish steps and the polish steps to go with all of this. There's that one piece of little limb cast, which looks like it's starting to break right there. So that's kind of depressing. It's got a break there and a break there. We'll see if it holds up. And we'll go over a lot of these. Now, after this one step in my thing, it was like halfway full. So there's a good portion that it was, went down. So what I'm going to do is I have all this rocks that I want to get polished up before June. So what I'm going to do is I probably have 2 more batches right here. I'm going to do these black rocks and whatever can fit. And I'm going to do that for a month. And then I'm going to do the rest of it for a month. And then by that time, I'll have 3 batches ready to go to the pre-polish and the polish, but it'll have disintegrated. So I should be able to do it in 2 batches. So the first thing I want to make sure I get in is all of this black rock. Maybe I'll throw in this banded iron, and that banded iron rock that I count. That'll be it. I'm going to start this batch, and I'll tumble it until March 20-something. And then put it in a bucket, and then tumble what I can of this and what's in here. And just put this here batch right here, ready for the pre-polish, in a bucket, and wait until this one here and this one, and however more I can put in there. Then I will. And then when I'm done with all of that, I will videotape it at its complete stages. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Oh, hi. So my rocks that were in the small tumbler are done. So let's go over them. Here are some agates with some dendrites in them. I think a lot of these agates are just agates I got out of our yard, just walking around picking them up. I think this is one of those moss agates. Yeah. I think it's one of those like red moss agates. I have a bunch of those right here. Here's another agate with a lot of those manganese dendrites, kind of like the Sweetwater agates. Show you that one yet? It's some shining. Here's some little bit. Here's another little agate. This looks kind of like a little bitty limb cast. That might be banded iron. Some pieces, I think, of some little pieces of Lysite agate. That's definitely a piece of Lysite. And here's some of that red moss agate. I got this from our yard too. I cut it up from a rock years ago. And sometimes I throw the stuff in when it gets broken. Smooth it out again. Here's this really pretty piece of coral from our yard. We found several pieces, got some little like crystals in there too.
Can you give me some more, Tommy?
And this is some calcite crystal. Now this calcite is very common in Wyoming, but I still think it's beautiful. It's shined up really pretty. I think this is like an agate with some calcite in it. This is real pretty. And here's some pieces of an agate from my husband. I cut it up. It fell apart, and so I tumbled it. I showed you this rock before, another piece I threw in there. Here's some little pieces of banded iron. Not very big. Here's just a black rock. It's really shiny. To me, it looks like that Apache tears, but Apache tears, I guess, is obsidian. And who knows, this could be obsidian. I think I got this over there when you go to the Blue Forest and you go down that road. When you first turn off of that highway that goes past Farson, there's black rock all over. I went out and picked up a few pieces. But it's really shiny. So, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's pretty. There's some other rocks that didn't... Kind of interesting. Some of these, I think, they're chert or jasper or something. It's a nice little round rock. Kind of unique. And here's a green rock. Not exactly sure. So a much lighter green in person than it's picking up on this camera. There's a piece of jasper. And here's a really pretty piece of jasper. Really pretty piece. And another piece of brown jasper. One side shined up pretty nice. And the other side not so much. A little agate mix. Agate, jasper, chert. And say, if I don't know what it is, I'm just going to call it chert. And another little piece of this rock shined up really pretty. That's a nice shine on it. And here's some jasper. And of course my green moss agate. I've showed this before. A rock that I found years ago. But of course I threw this back in because some pieces were broken. But it is just so gorgeous. I have one of them as a thumbnail in one of my videos. My yard rock video, I think it is. Look at that. So if you want to, check out green moss agate wedding rings. But I just think it's a beautiful, that's probably the most coolest rock I ever found on my property. And remember that video where I was going to try to polish all those rocks, tumble them all, and try to get them done before June. And I said, well, they're not gonna fit. And I thought to myself, well, I have my little 3-pound thing, so I can tumble some of it in there and get that going. So here's some of the rocks that I have pulled out that I want to hopefully see if I can get it in. Ooh, I think this is a piece of EPIDOTE, however that's pronounced. From my yard, of course, some Lysite Agate, some pieces. And that Missouri rock, I'm kind of curious, excited to see how that polishes up. Some more Missouri rock. I picked these out from my rocks. We'll see if they fit. Missouri rock. Piece of Lysite Agate. And this is some green rock, probably from my yard. We'll see what it looks like when it's polished. A piece of that agate. Another rock. I think this was a rock I got when we did that flame agate, and I cut it into slices. I got a bunch more slices. I'll put some of the smaller ones in here. That black rock from Butcher Knife. Oh, I think I'm going to look at this in my... because it's got this like thing, and I don't know what this is. It just looks really weird. I'm not sure if I'm going to polish that. I'll set this aside from now. So that, one of that. I got a bunch more in there, but I'll do that in my big tumbler about the 24th of this month. That one yard rock where I got a bunch of pieces. There's one from that one rock, I think from, oh, that was from the Red Desert Coral trip. Missouri rock, Missouri rock, flame agate rock. This is a piece of that calcite stuff from my yard. Probably just disintegrate, but we'll check it out. Some jasper. That horned coral. Missouri rock. Some petrified algae. Wait a second. This looks like concrete. Should I? No, I'll set that aside now. Some. I guess some other stuff. One of those agates from that box of agate, that box that I got from the auction. Missouri. Oh, here's some of that Wiggins Fork petrified wood. And oh, some petrified algae. Oh, here's some of that Wiggins Fork. My granddaughter is going to do the filming today.
Can you show them me?
Huh?
Can you show them me? This?
Yeah, if you want. You see that? Okay. Anyways, so this is going to be our next batch of rocks, so we'll go through that. I'm going to put these black ones aside just in case there's not any room. Here's a real nice piece of banded iron, so I'm curious. I think this is going to polish it beautifully. Look at that. Are you doing a good job, Bella?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Look at the flowers.
Yeah. And here's some my husband's agate. Here's some more of that Bellatrix. Here's some more of that Missouri rock.
Ooh.
And here's some of that rock from my rock that I got in my yard. Definitely jasper. And here's another big chunk of banded iron. It's gonna, I bet you it's gonna shine up beautifully too. And here's an agate. I found this in my yard. Here's a, looks like some mica. That might just fall apart. It might, okay. And here's a piece of that Lysite agate, a cut piece of it. I think I have a couple of those. Here's a piece of cut Lysite agate. I'll get to those pieces, Bella. And here's this rock, the flame agate rock trip that we went on over in Hudson. Okay, so this is that flame agate rock that I cut in half. So that'll be real pretty. Here's another, I think at the same trip. I think I've got some slices of that. Another piece of Lysite agate.
Ooh.
Bella.
Sorry.
Another weird rock. I don't know. It's kind of strange. Looks like an agate. It's got some green in it. There's a. And here's some from that flame agate. You see, look at that. Those designs in there.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, and there's that one thumbnail with that really cool
cutted.
rock with all those designs. We found that on the same trip.
Also cutted.
Yeah, I cut it. It's got some crystals in there too.
Yeah. Like that. It's very smooth.
This is some rock I got in my yard down there. It'll probably just disintegrate and be a nothing. Looks like some type of calcite. And then here's another one of those rocks from the flame agate with that really cool pattern. Look at that pattern.
It's also smooth.
Yeah, here's a rock. Looks like there's some mica in there. We'll see what that looks like. A piece of red jasper. Some agate.
To let you guys know, we're gonna go to Utah. So
Okay. Yeah, we're getting ready to go to Utah. But anyways, there's another one of those rocks with that red on the front. Agate from our yard. Another piece of that one, that flame agate trip. Is it smooth? That's because I cut it with my cutter. A green rock. Maybe some quartzite, green quartzite maybe. I don't know, agate. Another agate and jasper.
I like agates.
Yeah, they're pretty. Agate jasper. Yeah, another, looks like this one from my yard. I have a hill back there with all this stuff. And a piece of Lysite agate. And this piece of whatever this is. Hold on, Bella. Let me shake this up a little bit. I don't know. I think this will fit in here. I think this is too much. We're not going to put that in there. We'll just save that for another time. So that's our next batch of rocks. So thank you for watching. And
Bye.
we'll see you when we get this one started. Well, actually, you know what? I'll probably just wait until I get all of them polished. Or maybe we can go through the next full polish. That's what we'll do. Okay, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.